Hello, and welcome to the Velec R48 Assembly Guide. If you wish to skip ahead to a specific step, here is the schedule of the guide. The goal of the tutorial is to get your new Velec Ebike on the road as soon as possible so you can ride toward your next adventure. Let's get started. Hi, my name is RJ, and I'm a professional mechanic here at Velec. Today, I will show you how to assemble your Velec R48 or R48 Pro. We suggest you clear a surface so you can put down some parts and tools while you follow this tutorial. This surface will be your workstation for the assembly. Before starting the bike assembly, let's take some pictures of the model number, the e-bike serial number, and the battery serial number. They're located on each side of the box. We suggest you gather a bike pump, a pair of long nose pliers, a pair of cutting pliers, and mechanical grease if you have some. Pull up the top flap of the box. Then extract all of the staples on this flap with your long nose pliers. If you don't remove them, you may scratch your arms and your bike while pulling it out. Don't leave them on the ground, or worse, inside your pockets. Dispose of the staples safely. Now, remove the following elements from the box and put them onto your workstation. With your cutting pliers, cut the zip ties off the pocket attached to the rear carrier. There are your tools. Make sure your toolkit contains the following: 3, 4, 5, and 6 mm Allen keys, an 8 and 10 mm wrench, a 13 and 15 mm wrench, plus a Phillips screwdriver. 2 boxes. One contains your charger. The other one contains the owner's manual, the pedals, and the quick release for the front wheel. The front wheel. And the cardboard packing protection you can recycle. The easiest way to pull your bike out is to lean the box towards you and walk backward while pulling the bike out. Make the e-bike stand on the rear wheel and the fork for now, and turn the fork facing forward. Remove the keys attached to the handlebar and cut the zip ties attaching the handlebar to the frame with your cutting pliers to move it out of the way. Before starting the assembly, it's important to check that your battery works perfectly. Remove the packaging from the frame to insert the key in the lock. Turn the key and pull the handle of the battery to release it from the bike. On your battery, you will find the level indicator button. If the light goes on when you press it, your battery already has some charge. If no light appears while pressing the level indicator button, plug the battery into the charger for 30 minutes to wake it up. Now, fully charge it before you go on a ride. To properly charge your Velec battery, first, open the charger's box and plug the battery into the charger. Then, plug the charger into the power outlet. If the light on your charger is blinking or stays green after 30 minutes of charge, please contact our customer support, as we may have a problem with your battery. If the light turns red within 30 minutes, continue to assemble your bike. Inside the shipping box, you will find a cardboard stand that will help stabilize your bike while you are working on it. Now, let's go ahead with the assembly of your new e-bike, starting with the handlebar component. With the 5 mm Allen key, loosen the adjustable stem and adjust it upward at a 45 degrees angle. If you want an upward or more aggressive riding position, adjust it to your preference. It's critical to tighten this bolt very well. Now, with the 4 mm Allen key, loosen the faceplate and the bolts. Put them aside, making sure you don't lose any parts in the process. At this point, you should have 4 bolts, 4 washers, and the faceplate. With the cutting pliers, get rid of the remaining zip ties attaching the handlebar to the frame. Then, lift the handlebar into position. At this point, while placing the handlebar, you shouldn't feel any unnatural tensions in the wires. Put the faceplate back into position and lightly tighten the stem bolts so the handlebar stays in position. Balance the handlebar on each side of the stem with the help of the knurling. Now, Now, rotate the handlebars so you can reach the brake levers comfortably. Tighten the stem faceplate progressively in a crossing pattern. Make sure the gap at the top and the bottom are equal, about 1/4 inch each. We will come back to the stem and the handlebar later. Now, let's prepare and install the front wheel. On your workstation, bring the front wheel, your cutting pliers, and the mechanical grease if you have some. If you don't have mechanical grease at home, you can use a stable jelly lubricant like Vaseline. Don't use oil or jelly that would melt in the heat. With your cutting pliers, remove the seat from the rear wheel. Remove the wheel protectors and the fender using the cutting pliers to remove the zip ties. It's important that you never touch the disc with your hands. Open your parts box. Inside your box, you will find the pedals, the quick release, and the owner's manual. Take the quick release out of its box and disassemble it by removing the nuts and the conical springs. Place the conical springs in the right order, as shown in this video. For your wheel to work safely and properly, the shorter side of the conical springs must point inward. Before putting back the nut, you can add a little bit of mechanical grease to the threads of the quick release. The lever must be inserted from the opposite side of the disc. Slide the quick release through the axle of the wheel. Install the conical spring pointing inward and screw the nut so it holds into place. The front wheel is now ready to be installed. Back to the bike with the 10mm wrench and the 5mm Allen key. Unscrew the lights, place the parts back in order and pass it through the fork, then to the side. You'll be able to do so without unplugging anything. Gently remove the brake and fork plastic spacers. Don't touch the brake levers when the plastic protector or the wheel is not in place. It will stick the brake pads together. This is why we kept the handlebar packaging up to this point. Now, put the front wheel in place, making sure the disc is centered between the brake pads. It's important that the lever of the quick release points toward the back of the fork. Gently screw in the nut of the quick release and center the wheel in the fork. Then tighten the quick release and close it all the way. This should leave a mark in the palm of your hand. Let's install the front fender. To do so, you'll need the 10mm wrench, the 5mm Allen key, and the Phillips screwdriver. Untangle the light from the wires and slide the fender from behind the fork. Remove the nut from the bolt holding the light. Insert the bolt through the fork hole and the fender's brackets. Tighten the nut with the 10mm wrench and 5mm Allen key. Align the metal bracket with the hole at the back of the fork as high as you can. The fender should touch the front of the fork, and there should be a small gap at the back of the fork. Now, we need to attach the fender's brackets to the fork. Loosen the silver fender screws on each side of the fork with the 8mm wrench. Then unscrew them with a Phillips screwdriver. Pass the screws through the fender bracket and tighten them. Repeat these steps on the opposite side. Next, install the seat and seat post. With a 5mm Allen key, loosen the seat post collar bolt to remove the seat post from the seat tube. Loosen the seat post clamp head with a 15mm wrench. Slide the seat post clamp onto the seat rails and tighten the bolt with a 6mm Allen key. If needed, you can adjust the angle of the seat. Pivot the saddle to the desired angle, then tighten the bolt. If the seat is parallel to the ground, remove the seat post and grease the seat tube. Then insert the seat post inside the seat tube. Tighten the seat post collar with the 5mm Allen key as much as you can. You can now remove the remaining packaging from the bike. It's now time to flip the bike. To do so, lift the front of the bike by the fork and roll it backwards on your feet. Gently land the saddle and the handlebar on the ground. Let's install the pedals. Take the pedals out of the box and remove the plastic packaging. You'll notice that the mounting positions are engraved at the tips of each axle. L represents the left and R represents the right. Apply a small amount of grease to the threads. The right mounting position is the drivetrain, or chain side. Install the right pedal to the drivetrain side and screw it clockwise, holding the pedal's axle with your thumb and index. You'll be able to screw most of it by hand. Use the 15mm wrench to tighten the pedal completely. The best way to do it is to pedal backwards, retaining the pedal's axle with the wrench. If the pedal doesn't screw by hand, don't use your wrench to force it. Either the pedal or the thread is misaligned, or you are using it on the wrong side. Now, repeat the same steps on the opposite side with the left pedal. When the pedals are installed, get your pump and inflate the tires to the maximum recommended pressure written on their side. Well-inflated tires will reduce the risk of puncture and will provide you with the best riding experience. Now, with the same technique, gently flip the bike by rolling it upside up. With a 4mm Allen key, loosen the side bolts of the stem. Facing the bike, hold the front wheel between your legs and center the handlebar. Then, tighten the side bolts on the stem. With the 4mm Allen key, tighten the 4 bolts holding the faceplate progressively in a crossing pattern. When done charging, put the battery back into your bike. A green light on the charger indicates the battery is fully charged. First, unplug the charger, then the battery. Align the battery and gently push it down. Before going on your first ride, we recommend reading the owner's manual. Take a look at the regulations about e-bikes in your state. Complete the mechanical checklist we attach to your bike, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. We also recommend you visit your local bike shop to have your e-bike inspected, and don't forget to watch our other tutorials. Enjoy your new Velec Ebike.